who's actually going to pay for this $1 trillion student loan forgiveness program? My first guest is the executive vice president of the Commonwealth Foundation, Jennifer Stefano. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Andrew.
They keep saying this is for the middle class. This is for the middle class, bottom, top. I don't know which direction it goes, bottom up, middle out, something like that. But what portion of the middle class is getting something, and then what portion is paying for it? If you're middle class, and I don't like to classify people, and you paid your student loans, then you've got to pay even more for someone else. How does that benefit the middle class?
Yes, every responsible adult who is waking up to an alarm, going to their job, earning a paycheck, coming home, and who has either paid their debts, their college loans debts, or chosen not to go to college should look at their current income that they take home and get ready to give a portion of it to people whose families make 6+ figures a year or who they personally make 6+ figure a year, and we're going to pay off those people's college loans. It's so wrong and unfair. It's particularly a transfer of wealth from the poor and the working class to the wealthy. This is the absolute reverse of supposedly Robin Hood.
This is what I don't understand. They keep telling us the economy is on fire, right? Jobs are being created at record pace. This has never happened before. So why are all these people with masters and doctorates unable to find employment?
Yeah, because you're doing things like gender studies majors and other things that don't add value to society, as to where welders, cosmetologists, and other skilled laborers add an enormous amount of value to society, not to mention service workers who really saved all of us during COVID. We saw just how valuable those that go and get a high school degree or a GED equivalent or just go out into the workforce are to our society. But instead of increasing their salaries or being able to reward them accordingly, we now have to pay off the loan of sociology majors and humanities majors and gender studies majors, which is perfectly fine, but please don't ask me to subsidize that with my and my children's future.
You know, it's funny, highly educated, I'm putting in air fingers quotes, left-wing Democrats like to punch down on the academic pedigrees of people they think they're beneath them, but now they want those people to cover their debts.
That's right, that the ruling class elites have decided that in order to get to the power structure that they already have, that you need some form of higher education, which simply is not true. And then they said, well, because we're here and we're so very smart, you all working staffs, the proletariat, you have to pay for this. This is actually started with Woodrow Wilson and his whole concept of the end of history, the beginning of the progressive era, the idea that we could now have a ruling class of highly educated people telling all the rest of us how to live. The part we all forgot was they also expect us to work and fund it as well.
When I think about $1 trillion, that we're now at $1 trillion giveaway, right? Normally, $1 trillion is about a quarter of a standard federal budget. I guess after $2 trillion here and $2 trillion there for COVID lockdown, all this other stuff, this just sounds standard. But their talking point now is, well, you guys were for tax breaks and you guys were for PPP loans. Well, you were shutting down businesses. That's not fair to the business owner or the people that work there. And cutting taxes, not taking something from someone, is not like giving them something. You're saying to people that sought educational advancement, which should also bring them advancement in employment, that not only will they get advanced in their careers because of their degrees, but somebody else is going to pay for them. So you get a higher salary and you don't have debt.
Yeah, I will not insult the Biden administration's intelligence by in any way taking them seriously on that talking point. I'm going to ignore it out of respect to them. The truth is this. People sign on the dotted lines with banks. They take on debt. They make a decision that they now have buyer's remorse or they are not able to pay it off is not society's problem. It's privatizing the benefit and then socializing the risk and the burden of paying it off. It's wrong, it's unfair, it's a shameless political grab, and it's a distraction for what's really bothering the electorate, which is the ever-increasing inflation, gas prices, and the fact that this administration has failed us on so many fronts.
Yeah, if anyone thought this was going to bring down the cost of college tuition, the colleges just got told they could jack up their rates to whatever they want, and no matter how much debt you rack up, studying bisexual Asian studies and interpretive dance as a major, government got it covered.
And let's not kid ourselves. All the people sitting in academia insist that to be there, years and years and years of work experience and running businesses and signing people's paycheck and staying up at night worrying about how to create jobs or how to get up and go to your job and solve problems. None of those people are valued in academia. Do you know who is? The very people who are now getting their loans paid off, right? We call it overeducated, but really what it is overvalued individuals sitting largely in an administrative state in what is now de facto, all of these private institutions are de facto public funded. Do you know since the government started funding loans, we have grown, college tuition has grown over 2,000%. And by the way, we already have government subsidized colleges. They're called state schools. Please, this is ludicrous. We, the taxpayers, already pay for college for people to go, even if we ourselves choose not to. This is wrong, this is unfair, and it's an absolute violation of the American spirit of personal responsibility, earning your own success, and making decisions and living with the consequences, good and bad. Like, learn to recover and solve this problem.
Yeah, and the military says you want a college degree, you're going to serve in the military.
That's
if
right.
a police department, a school system, social welfare department wants to do the same thing at the state level with a state college, let them do it. It should not be expanded out to all of society, as you said, and the federal taxpayer. I got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Andrew.